What's my name? What's my name? Uma! Sorry, that was a little bit over the top. So yes, as you probably guessed from my horrendous singing, that I decided to do a Uma American Girl doll custom because Adorable by Rita, which is a doll like clothing supply Etsy shop, was selling this Uma costume for $40, which if you watched my Mal from Descendants video, that costume was like, I think with shipping it cost $100, and it's got this like little sea shirt and glittery turquoise, because you know her color is like turquoise or teal, vest, and then she's got like these little wristy bands. I think they're like fingerless gloves, and then these are crazy cool like pants with the fringe, and a belt. And then it didn't come with boots or her pirate hat, so I went on Amazon and I bought just like a pirate costume for 18-inch doll, and it came with the pirate hat, which is all smushed right now, and then some boots. I recently watched, you guys remember from my Mal video that I watched Descendants 1, and Mal was like my favorite character in that, so I wanted to make a doll. Well, I just watched Descendants 2 and 3 for the first time, and let me tell you, I heart Uma. Uma is like my favorite character. She is like, for those of you who have not seen any of the Descendants movie, she's sort of like an anti-hero character, where it's like you kind of are, she kind of is the villain in the second one, kind of, or at least they want you to think she's the villain, and then she ends up like, spoiler alert, she ends up becoming like the savior of Oridon in the end of the third one. Like really, like I know, like everyone talks about Mal, but like if it weren't for Uma, like Oridon would be toast. I heart Uma. I love her character. I love her like character arc and development. Because I mean, really, is she really a villain? Like, is it so wrong to want a better life for yourself and for the other kids who live on the island? Like, is that so wrong? I don't think so. Also, I like, not gonna lie, I was actually okay. Like at the end of the second one, another spoiler alert, she puts a spell on King Ben where he's like in love with her, and not gonna lie, I was actually okay with it. Like, I do love me some Mal, and I do love the whole like Mal Ben romance, but totally okay with Ben and Uma like getting together. Totally okay. I think she'd make a great queen. Like, she knows the island better than anyone. So, and she's used to running a whole crew of pirates. Like, she's used to being a leader already. I could totally ship them. Like, and I'm probably not the only one out there. So I stan Uma. I love Uma, and I really wanted to make an Uma doll. So I bought this Sonali mold. It's not Sonali, it's a Sonali mold. I don't remember which Truly Me exactly. Obviously in TLC shape. Limbs are not that loose, really. Like, her limbs are pretty stiff. She does have like a transfer stain here, which there's nothing I can do about that. Just have to disclose it in the listing. And she has had her nails painted. And then obviously, ooh, she actually smells good. She smells like vanilla. It's kind of weird. Normally you get TLC dolls and they smell like terrible. She actually smells good. It smells like coconut and vanilla. So obviously her hair is a thing. But here's the deal. I don't know that I'm actually going to take this wig off, because the only like Uma wig that I could find was from Zazu. So her wig, at least in the second one, because I think her hair changes in the third one. They all of them, their hair like goes through these different morphs and transformations. But in the second one, I think like the hair she's known for is like the long braided like turquoise hair, which I could only find at Zazu. I'm gonna take this tag off. And it was only in a size, it's a size too big for American Girls. Like it's a 12-13 wig. But she says on her shop website that it will fit an American Girl doll if you put it over their existing wig. So I am going to try it and hope that it will fit kind of if I put it over her existing hair. I'm not really sure. Maybe we should try that. Do a mock test. Because I'd really like to not have to sew. Like I can, if I have to, like sew it smaller, but I don't want to if I don't have to. Okay, actually it might work. Oh my goodness, it might actually work. Look at that. Oh, she was right. I think that's gonna work. I wonder if I can still glue. I bet I can still glue along the perimeter. How funny. So, life hack. Bigger wig will work if you put it over the existing wig. Now, her hair was pretty short to begin with, so I don't know if it would work with like a longer wig, but I don't know. We're going to go with it. So, she already is like 3/4 of the way there. We have the Sonali mold, which I thought would be perfect for Miss Uma, and she already has the gorgeous dark brown eyes, and they look pretty clean. So I think we're going to keep those. We're just going to do a little makeup job. Her limbs don't need to be tightened, so we're not going to worry about that. We'll just do a little makeup job, do a wig job, clean her up a little bit. She seriously smells good. Then dress her up. All the fun stuff. We get to do all the fun stuff with her. I'm excited. Oh, and I have to film everything in the closet today. I might go out into the bathroom a little bit, but I can't go downstairs right now. I have to stay here. So I'm stuck in here. So filming, lighting might be kind of a little bit janky, but we're just gonna make it work. We're gonna make it work. So okay, so I actually did like bring up my paint and supplies, which I know is kind of weird. It's just kind of weird to do this in my closet, but I'm going to try and be really careful. So I'm going to put a little bit of turquoise eyeshadow on. I'm not going to do glitter, but just a little bit just to kind of pop out her brown eyes. And you know, turquoise is kind of her color, so I think it'd be pretty. That's pretty good. Okay, we're gonna go with that. And I got a couple of new brushes, which I'm excited about. And we're gonna go in and do some painting. Happy with that. I'm gonna do 2 layers though, because right now it's streaky. I just want a little hint, a little pop above her eyes of some color. So we're gonna do a second layer once this dries. Okay, so while I'm waiting for her eyes to dry, I'm gonna go ahead and use the same color and paint over her existing nail colors. So right now they're this sort of not very appealing like burgundy glitter color. And you can remove this, but it's a pain in the butt with all the like lines and creases. You have to get in there with a toothpick, so it's a lot easier to just paint a new color over the top of it, especially since most of it has worn off anyways. And I think teal would kind of go with her whole aesthetic, so why not? Let's just do it. Okay, now that I think her eyelids are dry, I'm going to go ahead and do her lashes, and I'm going to use paint. I think I'm going to do gray as the shadow and do black as the forefront. So we'll see how that goes. Well, I'm almost out of black. All right. So I want to give her the traditional sunflower lashes. Got a new liner brush. It's always exciting to get a new liner brush. So let's see here. I hope gray isn't a mistake. It's not showing up super well, but I think it's showing up enough. I wanted to do something cool toned since her skin is more warm toned. I wanted it to stand out a little bit. Not a lot, but a little bit for the shadowing. I don't know a ton about painting techniques, but I do know that when you want something to stand out, you use contrasting colors, excuse me. You ever just randomly talking and then all of a sudden you start choking on your own saliva for no reason? Is that just me? Happens a lot. Just be talking, randomly choke on my own saliva. It's great. Or like, have you ever felt like you needed to like wipe your nose? Like your nose is dripping, but there's never like a great time to do it. And so then you end up like overdoing it when you wipe your nose and making it awkward. I feel like that's just kind of an introvert struggle, like trying not to be awkward whenever you're having a conversation with someone and then inevitably making it even worse. I've heard there's some like personality types that really struggle with that. I can't find a good, I'm gonna have to move this. Been really into the whole MBTI, like 16 personality thing. Like I've been watching a lot of Frank James and Dear Kristen. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, you should definitely search for them on YouTube because I have never laughed so hard. Like, some of their skits are just absolutely hilarious. So my MBTI type is, I'm an INFP, which is probably not shocking to a lot of you if you are familiar with the Myers-Briggs personalities. So basically, I'm an introvert, I'm intuitive, I'm a feeler, I'm a big feeler. I know you couldn't tell that I'm a feeler, and I'm perceptive. And one downside to my type is that we tend to just like internalize things way too much and like overanalyze things, especially social like interactions. Do you guys know what your Myers-Briggs personality type is? Do you even know what I'm talking about? So I'm an INFP. My husband is an ISTP. Which is funny. A lot of people have commented that that's kind of an unusual match. But I think it works well for us because I am like super in my own mind, and I'm also like a super optimist, and I'm always like floating off somewhere in my own ideas and dreams. Like I'm an idealist. I'm an optimistic idealist. So, and then my husband is like the opposite. He's like a pessimist. Well, he's not really a pessimist as much as he's just a realist. Like, he never gets his hopes up about anything. Like, if you guys have seen Spider-Man, like Zendaya's character, MJ, where she's like, you know, if you expect the worst, then you're never disappointed. That's my husband. He always expects the worst to happen. He's like a worst case scenario guy, which that sounds like really negative to be around, but actually it's very grounding for someone like me, because I tend to be overly optimistic about things. I'll be like, we should sell everything and move to the beach. And he's like, might want to rethink that. And I'm like, oh yeah, you're probably right. So it works out. He's one of the things that he loves the most about me, that he told me, I'm not just making this up, is my big heart. So, which I do. I have way too big of a heart. And I tend to always think the best of people, which I think that's a good quality to have, like, to see the best in people. But it also gets you in trouble a lot when you're like, because not everyone has good intentions. So yeah, MBTI types. What is your type? Let me know in the comments below. And what is something that you're good at and something that your type tends to struggle with? I told someone about the MBTI types once, and they were like, wait, is that like horoscopes? And I was like, no. Way different than horoscopes. Like the 16 personalities is actually like, it's rooted in scientific and behavioral analysis. I'm not like, you know, ragging on horoscopes or anything like that, but it's a different world. I'm a Capricorn, by the way. I guess you couldn't tell since my birthday is the day after Christmas. My husband is also a Capricorn, which again, you would think is not a great match, but somehow it works out. All right, what do you think of that? Can you even see her? Oh my goodness. Can you even see? You can't even see, can you? What a terrible camera. One of these days, we're gonna get a better camera. Alright, well, I'm gonna just be quiet, stop yabbering, and finish up the lashes. Okay, so now that we are done with the face makeup, I think she's looking great. Really pretty. Loving the eye look here. I'm gonna do her lips, and I want it to be pretty natural, a little bit glossy. I'm gonna go for the standard sort of red, brown, glazing medium, and then go from there. I think that's a pretty good color. We're gonna go with it. Okay. So it's actually like super close to her natural lip color. It's just a little bit glossier. Her old paint has rubbed off a little bit with the wear and tear. So we're just gonna kind of freshen her up a little bit. Not a huge statement, but her eyes have color, so I don't know if this is still like the rule when it comes to applying makeup, but back in the olden days, they used to say, you know, pick one or the other. Either make the eyes the statement or the lips the statement. Don't do both. So, and you know what? It's worked for me this long, so we're just going to keep using it. I think you can make both a statement as long as they're like in a same color palette, but if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Okay, there. I think that looks really pretty. So now we're just going to let her dry for a little bit longer. Okay, so it's actually a different day now. I'm still in my closet, still working on Miss Uma here. We've got her makeup finished. Her lips are now dry. And we're just going to finish her up. So she's got her makeup, and then her nails are matching turquoise. I really am happy with how her makeup came out. I think it's just the right amount of teal on her eyes so that it's not overpowering. So now we're going to put her aqua wig on, and it seemed like it was gonna work just putting it over her existing wig. So I've never done this before, so we'll see. A lot of times tacky glue will actually have a stronger bond when there's a little bit of like hair or texture on the scalp for it to sort of, it gives it something to bind to. So it might actually be a fairly strong bond. And then of course I'm gonna have to seal it around the edges really good. And okay. I don't want any of her old wig showing through. That's the key. So how am I gonna get this to go on without any of the old wig showing through? Kind of tricky, actually. I'm not gonna lie. Kind of tricky. Because like you want it to cover her old hair, but you also don't want it to be like over her ears. Okay, I think that's gonna work, and then when I go to like glue it down around the perimeter, I'll just have to tuck in these little baby hairs. But if you've seen any of my other videos, you know that I don't finish gluing down a wig until after the doll sells, because I have learned that lesson before. Just don't do it. You'll end up wasting time and wigs. Okay, so there is her wig. It is just on with tacky glue at this point. After she sells, I'll glue it around the perimeter and tuck in all of the older hairs. But I think she looks pretty good. So let's go ahead and get her outfit on her.
So this is Miss Uma, all complete in her outfit. She has a braided turquoise wig by Zazu Designs. Her outfit is from Adorable by Rita. I gave her custom face paint and cleaned her up. And I just think she looks super cute. And this particular version is probably closer to how she looks in the second movie. Maybe in the future I'll do a different version, but this was really fun, and I hope that you enjoyed